Hey everybody, 8-Bit Josh here. Welcome back to Aurora Zoo, and we've got another update video for you. There is no update with the guests. They're still cold because they wear short sleeves and they just look so cold. But anyway, so we've added a few things since the last episode. So if you recall, the last episode ended about right here. We detailed the bridge that goes over our little river here, or creek, or whatever you want to call it. And I actually took the same theme idea that we used on the bridge over at the entrance. So if we go look over here, so this is our little like road entrance into the zoo. So you can see I just took the same thing because I was like, you know what, it's fitting and it works really well. But yeah, so we detailed around the bridge, which I think it looks really good. I always think it looks better than just like the default path with like out any kind of decoration around it. We also extended the monorail because this is of course coming over this way as well. I actually removed the track supports and did a couple like custom supports, mostly just using the rocks here. I think this one looks really good. I like that. It fits really well. This one, I guess would be more of like a these would probably be like fake rocks. They obviously, that doesn't look like very natural, but I also added like these support beams here, so it kind of makes it look like it's still all connected and supported nicely. The other thing we did on one of our Tuesday evening streams, which are always like our really chill streams, we did more of our partially frozen river here. So it was, we had done it like up to right here about the waterfall. So we did all of this, and I think that it looks really good. Just lots of detailing. Really like the idea of doing a partially frozen river where it's frozen on, like along the banks or the edges of the river, and then the middle where the water kind of flows a little bit heavier. Like it just doesn't freeze over. And I think this turned out really good. I'm looking forward to doing more of this kind of detailing around the river in the other parts of the zoo. It goes on over here, but obviously we haven't done anything this way yet, so, you know, no detailing right there. So then the other thing is we added a second monorail building, and this one, unlike the first one, this is just a monorail building, so there aren't any shops in here or anything, but it does look really nice. I also, because we added the boomerang building there, I tried to, it's not really an Australia themed area, but I did try to use pieces from that pack just to kind of make it all like kind of fit together. But I think it turned out really good. I like it. I did something a little different. I used some of these Australia lights and sunk them into the ground. Oh, the Mecharoo. Love the Mecharoo. If we look at this at nighttime, I think it looks really cool. With just like the lights in the ground, and it actually goes all the way inside. I also did some lights in the stairs right here. I think, yeah, it's pretty good. It's just a simple building. Like I said, there's not a lot to it because it's literally just a queue and then the exit. I do like this little corner right here though, with just like the little Australia plants there. Can't remember what those plants are actually called. What are they called? I don't even know how to pronounce that, so I'm not even gonna try. So the monorail, still not functional. I suppose if we want to actually make it usable, we would have to connect the track all the way around. But the problem with that is, we don't know where it's gonna go until we get the rest of the layout of the zoo. So it's hard to want to do that because we just have to edit it and close it and then edit it and reopen it like every time we make a new area. So I wish I could just I wish it had like a shuttle mode where you could run it from one station back to the other instead of having it to have to be like a complete track. That would be awesome. Then the other thing, so if you watched my Planet Zoo builds episode, I did this boomerang shaped building here. And this is actually housing kangaroos, koalas, and the eastern blue-tongued lizard, which are all from the Australia pack, obviously. But this was a fun build, this boomerang-shaped building. I just call it the boomerang. But this is on my Steam Workshop, so you can download it and add it to your own zoo if you'd like. But I think it turned out really nicely. You can go in, and you can come up, and then you have like a nice elevated view of the entire habitat. And kangaroos and koalas can share a habitat. They actually have a species enrichment if they share habitat. So that's why I did that. I don't think we have any power over here. I think that's why that's turned off. But if you didn't watch the Planet Zoo builds episode, I kind of, even though they share a habitat, I kind of split like each wing of the building to like kind of customize it. So like over here is more customized for the koalas because there's climbing stuff for them. Oh, that tree needs, you wouldn't think that a feeder that is just plants would get all stinky, but I guess they do. I really like the like shipping container building pieces. So I figured it'd be fun to do like a little climbing section here. They can actually go up there if they want. Did another water feature right under the viewing area. They don't have to have a water feature, but if you know me, I always like to have them. And then this side is more themed for the kangaroos, which is it's pretty basic. Kangaroos don't really require a whole lot. But I just think this turned out like really cool. I'm super happy with it. And yeah, like I said, this is on my Steam Workshop. And then finally, I really like this. I almost thought about splitting this off into its own blueprint and putting this on the workshop, but this is for the eastern blue-tongued lizard, which let's see if we can find a guy. Oh, there he is, right on the branch. There he is. These guys are sometimes the exhibit animals are harder to get up close, but there he is. Oh, and he's looking right at us. He's like, what are you looking at? You staring at me? Be like, yeah, sir, I'm staring at you. You're cool looking. But I thought it was kind of funny. Like, I almost feel like it almost looks like a spaceship in a way. Like, I feel like these, I keep going outside of the building. Darn it. There we go. I almost feel like these like flaps, like they don't, like maybe at closing time, like these would just kind of like would like come down and like close the thing off. So maybe we pretend that's what it does. It's like, all right, zoo's closed, can't see the lizard anymore, and these are just like, pew, and they just close down. Exactly like that. Pew. The other cool thing is, or at least I think it's cool, is we are going to be expanding out this way. Now you can't see the path too well because of the snow, but there is a path down here. You can also see I did a little bit of terraforming, so we're going to continue our kind of like mountain theme over here. But to get to the other part of the zoo, which is going to be over here, the guests will actually have to walk through the boomerang to get to it. They can also ride the monorail, which we did a simple little tunnel through the mountain here. So the only way guests will be able to get to this part of the zoo, either ride the monorail or just walk right through the boomerang. The boomerang, because it is a pretty big habitat and there are a lot of animals in there, they have their own staff area. So, you know, it's a fully functional staff area. And keeping with the whole like rustic theme of the zoo. And I think it turns out pretty good. I really like this little corner. I just think this turned out really nice. And I really, really like this view. Totally intentional the way we designed this so that as you're walking this way as a guest, you just see right there the front of the boomerang and it says kangaroos, koalas, and you're like, oh sweet, I want to go check that out. But then it's like kind of, it's capped off on either side by some nice trees. And of course you have the snowiness everywhere as well. But I think this turned out pretty good. So one of the things we were kind of talking about on stream when we were working in this area, which, by the way, I stream Planet Zoo every Saturday and Sunday, and mostly on Tuesdays as well. So if you're ever interested in hanging out and building with us live, make sure you give my Twitch channel a follow. A link to that is always in the description below. It's always a lot of fun, but we were talking about what the next area should be. And I was thinking maybe we'll do like a canine area, because we can do the dingoes, the African wild dogs. We're gonna probably put in the timber wolves, and yeah, or we could do like an aquatic area, so animals that like water, hippos, crocodiles, that sort of thing. We could do a primates section. That was another idea that was suggested during the stream. So lots of things we can do yet. So make sure you let me know in the comments what you would like to see, and we'll definitely we'll try and get that fitted in. And I think that's all we have for the update. It's all turning out really, really good. It looks so good. You know, I said this before. I was like, when we first started this zoo in this biome, I was a little apprehensive about it. But after we're well into like building and designing, I just think it looks so good. And I really like the mountains around it and doing the river. Like if we look at it like this, I think that's cool. So like each section is gonna kind of be like sectioned off into its own little thing. And I think that's gonna be really cool, gonna be really unique. And I don't think a lot of other people are doing Arctic zoos, so this is definitely the place you want to be if this is the kind of zoo you're interested in looking at. But I think I've rambled on enough, so as always, be sure to leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. I am 8-Bit Josh, and thanks for watching. See ya.